Okay, Mum, we are now live. Say hello.
Hello, Cassie. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Cassie. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello. So what have you been up to today?
Today, what have I been up to? Nothing.
Like you?
I've been up to nothing. I've just been getting ready for this, really. And it was, I think there must have been a storm last night. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to put the live onto my computer so I can watch and see the comments coming on my computer so I don't have to keep on moving. Yes. Now I can see my comments a bit better when somebody like posts something. So I don't know what I found funny. So what have I been doing? So nothing today. I'm probably going to do something for my YouTube channel. I've already got one done for this Wednesday, which is going to be that boho cushion that I made. So I've got that.
Oh.
And
It's cool.
it is good. It is good. But on another note, when I was walking with Neil the other week, so Neil turned around and said, I've got some notes here. This has nothing to do with sewing, by the way. What time do you call evening?
Probably about 5 o'clock onwards.
Me too. And we Googled it, and apparently it's like 5 o'clock, 5:30, which is evening time. So yeah, obviously, because my thought process was like when you leave work. So you leave work in the evening, don't you? So
Yeah, but people leave at work at different times.
They do, don't they?
These days.
I know.
Yeah.
Says you that does sleepovers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there is no 9 to 5, is there,
I
nowadays?
start at 8 till 3, and I finish at 3. So
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. What time do you call evening? So what else do I have on here? So I was watching a TV program and I started talking to you about it on the telephone when I was talking to you just like personally, and I thought, no, this is going to be a good topic to talk about on my sewing podcast, so I decided to like leave it for today. I was watching a program called Mountain Men. And during this program, so it's people that live in Alaska, but I'm not quite sure, I'm not 100%, or like Montana or something like that. But it's definitely a cold place. Montana's cold. Montana's kind of like the same climate as like us. So anyway, I was watching this program and there was this guy, and basically they go out and they go hunting and they get beavers and kill beavers, and they were like skinning them. And then he was using the fur in order to make gloves. And he was making the gloves out of that sinew. Do you remember on one of the podcasts when I was talking about sinew, and I was like, I have no idea what sinew even is. And it was so he was going through the process of how the sinew is like. So he got the fur and he cut it into the pattern of the glove. And then basically the sinew is like I don't know, is it like intestine or something like that? And basically they dry it out. So he hangs it and he dries it out, and then it ends up like it turns into strings. So you can use it as a thread.
Is it like cotton? You throw out the thread cotton.
It's a really strong thread, but he said that the only problem with it is the fact that, he's only like short, obviously. So he has to like keep on tying it in like at the end and then tie it again. But then he was like, he was making these mittens out of this beaver fur, and I thought it was quite interesting.
Oh, right. So you're going to start doing that now?
No.
In the winter time. You're going to go get beavers and use the gizzards and things.
He said, how much did he make? I think he said, no, when you think of it, really, it's not a lot, because I think he said he made something like $300 for these gloves. But when you think of it, like, you've got to dry it, you've got to, like, cut it, you've got to sew it, you've got to
got to stand. I don't know how long it takes to catch a beaver, but you know,
What happens if you don't
go
even
out in the
get
wild now,
one?
It's like you use it for food, wouldn't you?
Well, then
So
I think they do use it for food up like north because like they're obviously living off the land, so they're using absolutely everything on the animal, which is, you know, good.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Roberta, how are you? Good afternoon. I'm just talking
hello.
I'm just talking about beavers and making mittens out of them and this mountain men program, which is kind of, it was really interesting.
That'll still be Cassie's new project in the winter time. Going to go out with Neil and they're going to go hunting for beavers and go home and cook them and eat them and get all the stuff
to sew. Yeah, and then so it was funny because
gloves and hats.
It was funny because
are you going to make some moccasins?
I should do, shouldn't I? It was funny because they actually sell stuff like that in Michael's, hey, like so you can do moccasins and stuff. Like they have it all cut out and they have everything for you, so you can like just do it. But and then so basically he sewed them, and then he gave them to his wife to double check the quality of them. So she would like look at how he's like done them and like sewed them, and then she would check everything. But she was like, yeah, he's really good at what he does. So it's really interesting. And then also I went to Michael's and I bought these beads. These beads. Actually in a sale, they were a good price. And I'm wondering whether I can use them in my quilting. What do you think?
That'd be nice, yeah.
Because
it's a shame I'm not there, isn't it? I could have done that. That could be my job, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever shown that on my YouTube channel. No, I've shown it on my Instagram page where I did that cushion out of all them buttons for like one of my clients. It turned out really well, but there was a lot of buttons. And plus, because the buttons were so small, we couldn't do them on the sewing machine. We should have really thought that through before we bought them, shouldn't we?
It didn't really matter.
It doesn't matter to you, because how long did it take you to sew all the buttons on that tree? So it was a tree.
I enjoyed it.
How long did it take you?
I don't know, because you went to bed, didn't you? You went to bed and left me, didn't you? I quite enjoyed it.
I went to bed and left us sewing.
Sewing buttons.
So yeah, when I've gone to like quilt shows and stuff, people have used like glass beads, and the beads are like, I don't know, like what, 1/4 of an inch long. Do you know so it has? I was specifically looking for them like the longer version of the bead. Do you know what I mean? What I'm talking about, Mum.
Yes.
So, and I think like if I'm doing something that as a straight line, I could use the bead and then, you know, make a little bit of detail. I don't know, does anybody else use beads for the quilting? I want to do stuff that doesn't just look necessarily 2D. But then up there, like, oh, but if a baby or a child gets it, they might be able to choke. You know what I'm like?
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, gosh.
I'm so, like, worried about stuff like that. Concerned about everything and everybody.
It's okay being like that, but it's at the end of the day, you know, there's all sorts of things that babies can get hold of. You know, it doesn't matter what it is, there's always something, isn't there?
I know, we've got to be careful. And anyway, moving on. So last week, and I can't remember what day it was. It must have been sort of like a Monday or something. Me and like I wanted to. Where did I get this idea from now? I think it was just because I'm being cheap. I'm literally being cheap, and I want to make a king size quilt for bed, and I just think about how much of the quilting cotton you need to do something when you want to do a king size quilt, because it's a lot of fabric. Let's be honest, a king size, yeah.
It is, yeah, very much.
So I've decided now that I found this, and it's basically it's got 4 pieces in it. So it's got the 2 king size pillowcases, it's got a flat sheet, and it's got a fitted sheet. So my thought process for this is as follows. So the flat sheet I'm going to use for the back of the quilt, because basically who looks at the back of the quilt anyway? So it's just something to put on the back. And I wanted to make it all match up with my my bed and my bedroom, because I normally have this quilt that's behind me on my bed, but I have this like thing about too many colours, like, and this is far too many colours for my bedroom behind me. So I want it to look a bit more of a uniform quilt that I'm doing for my bedroom. So I'm not going to show you everything. What was that?
I said it's nice that, isn't it?
What, to have it all?
Nice.
To have
the colours.
Oh, but I'm not going to show all the colours. You've seen all the colours. These guys aren't going to see all the colours yet, because I'm going to do a YouTube video on it, so they have to wait.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give them a taste of what I'm going to do. So I have never done a quilt using bedding before. Now, has anybody done any quilts out of bedding sheets? And the reason why is because, like, I don't know whether the different weight quality of like bedding sheets is going to be different to the weight quality of what you can buy in a quilting store. And I had this conversation with one of my friends on the phone, because I was wondering what is the thread count of the quilting cotton to the thread count of bedding sheets. What do you reckon?
One minute, you're getting a bit it's pretty scientific.
But I've done this before though, and I don't know if anybody else can back me up, because my mum now thinks I'm insane. And she thinks I'm overthinking this, as I always do. But
well, I made you. Don't you remember those curtains I made you out of the bedding?
But the thing, the difference is
expensive. Do you remember?
I know, but the difference is, like, hear me out, right? Because the backing sheet is going to, so the flat sheet is going to be for the back of the quilt, and the fitted sheet that comes with these bed sheets is going to be for the background of the quilt. So what I'm saying is when you start piecing your quilt with quilting cotton, as well as like with this material, it's like, because when I was like totally new to sewing, right, and I did a cushion cover that was flying geese, and I think New York City and flying geese or something like that, I can't even remember. And basically it's all foundation paper piece, and you've seen it, it's like it goes in a circle, it's all different colours, and you've got flying geese, and it's really pretty. But one of the problems about that was I used broadcloth, the polyester broadcloth in it, as well as quilting cotton, and I found that the difference in the quality of the two fabrics, or between the broadcloth and the regular quilting cotton, made it a little bit different when you were sewing it. I can't explain it. I really need someone to back me up here.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's the problem I'm having right now, because I'm wondering, like, I'm still going to do it, because so this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to do a YouTube series, and I'm going to do it right from the beginning of like me explaining and doing a quilt out of bedding, and going to the fabric shop, my experience with like buying fabric during quarantine, because the fabric shop wasn't open, well, not to public anyway. I didn't have to phone ahead. I just went to the fabric store and I phoned them, and they came out and served me. No, they didn't come out and serve me. Why am I talking gibberish? I I went to the fabric store. They had a telephone number on the window because they're very fortunate, the fabric store. They have a great big massive window at the back where they generally do sewing classes. So basically, you go to the fabric store, they have a number, you phone them, and they basically come to the window and they talk to you on the telephone, and then you tell them like what you want, and they go and find it for you. So basically they're personal shopping for you, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's be honest, they know exactly what's in their store. But I was being like a bit frugal and saying, please could I have, like, I hate that. Do you want me to go to a store and say, could I just have the solid, cheaper stuff?
It's a big project though, isn't it?
It is, it's a huge project as a king size quilt, and it can get very expensive.
Exactly. No, you have to sometimes, but, you know.
So, and they were very good. So I explained to him, like, because basically, like, this is the teal, and on my bedspread is this, like, dusky pink. And it was funny because, well, he couldn't match the colour up, full stop. He couldn't. Like, and he said that basically they would order the colour in if I wanted to, but then I knew that if they ordered it in, I'd have to wait, and Cassie doesn't like waiting, so I was like, no. Let's like work around it. And plus, like, I need this. I just want to get going on my YouTube videos and stuff as well. So yeah, I didn't want to wait. But they brought this whole.
No, I don't think I haven't got the patience to wait. No.
I don't have the patience to wait for anything.
I want it now. I can't need to do it now.
I'm not very good in lines either, which is like really bad right now because everything I have to wait in a line for.
Oh my God, I know. I've been quite fortunate here. It's not been too bad. Been quite lucky in that thing at the moment.
We did go to Costco yesterday and there was no line at Costco.
Oh God, that's good.
Which is kind of weird. But I think it was because it was like a super duper hot day, like 26 degrees. It's kind of hot for me personally. And we went to Costco and it's raining again.
Oh no.
I'm like, how many more times can it rain? Seriously. It's been raining a ton. So what was the purpose of the Costco? See, I'm all over the place. I don't even know, like, see, when I don't have a structure to what I'm talking about, I end up like talking like all over the place.
That's all right.
It is. So anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. So yeah, I'm going to do a king size quilt out of these sheets.
That'll be interesting too. Have you thought of a design yet?
No, I haven't. So I'm going to do foundation paper piecing, and I overthought that because I want to do my own design. And so I was talking to my friend about that because she always does a load of foundation paper. She does a load of her own designs, and a lot of them are always foundation paper piecing. And then I was like, yeah, I want to do this geometric like quilt. And then she said like, okay. Then I go, so what do I do? Do I like draw the whole thing out on the king size? Like, do I get like, so I literally said to her, do I get a load of construction paper and literally make it all a king size quilt, right? And then I do my blocks and da-da-da. And she goes, what is it you're making, Cassie? I'm like, well, it's a geometric quilt. And then she goes, well, if it's geometric, you only need to do one block. And they're like, she goes, because all you're doing is turning it around. And they're like, oh yeah, so I am. So like we've decided that if it's a king size quilt and I'm doing geometric, so I could either repeat. I still don't think you understand how I'm going to go about this, do you, Mum?
Yeah, I think I do, yeah.
Okay, so basically you're going to get like, so you're going to do just like one block. I'm going to do my design, and then you would like use that same block to make 4. So you do like a bigger version of the geometric shape, yeah? But you'd have to do it in 4 pieces to make it geometric. You'd either have to do it like, it'd have to be like 2 blocks to make it geometric, or make 4 blocks to make it geometric, and just go bigger and bigger and bigger kind of thing. And depending on how,
are you going to sort of like do something like in the middle, then have the sort of like just, you know, the plain like on the outside, then go out again with the design, the blocks?
So I don't know, and I think if I end up saying this is what I'm going to do, I know when I'm doing my YouTube tutorial, I'm going to end up like doing something completely different. It's funny because like, this is what I like about my videos personally. Like whenever I do my YouTube videos, I'm basically making it up on the fly as I'm going. So basically, and then if it doesn't work out, I'm there like, well, you know, this didn't work and that didn't work. See, I do the screw up, so you don't have to.
No.
But it's great. I like to learn, and I always like to learn and like to do new things and take people on for the ride with me.
Yes. It's a way to do it though, isn't it?
So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe starting like, but that would be like a medallion in the middle, wouldn't it? And I don't know whether I personally want to do that, because I kind of want it to be, I keep on saying I want it to be modern looking. And I almost want it to just like, I don't want one block in the middle, basically, I don't think. I think I want it to spread all the way along, if you know what I mean,
Right.
of the quilt. And that's where I was going to, oh, hi Jill, how are you?
Oh, hello.
And I think that's where, oh Jill, I don't know whether you, like, see if you've only just joined, I was just saying that I'm going to be doing a quilt out of bedding sheets. So have you ever done that before? Let me know. Because what I was saying is that I'm a little bit worried about the thread count of like the bedding sheets and the thread count of proper like quilting cotton. Let me know if you've ever done that before. What size quilt are you thinking about? King size. It's going to be a king size quilt. Never done it before. So I got a bedding sheet pack, and basically going to use a flat sheet for the back, and I'm going to use the fitted sheet for the background of the said quilt. She says never, but sounds interesting. See? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it and see what happens. Yes, king size. So it's going to be big. And I'm probably going to use my, I'm definitely going to be using my mid-arm for that. Not my, it's not going to be my regular sewing machine.
Oh, why are you doing it on that one?
So she's asking about the thread count of the bedding sheets. So they're really thin. I'm thinking it's thin. Like they are a 300 thread count of bedding sheets. And it was great because it was super good bargain. They were like $25 in a sale, which were really good. $25 for king size bed sheets. Can you believe that? That whole set. I'm really excited actually, because it's going to look really nice when it's done.
Of course it will.
What else can we talk about? Oh, so the design of it.
Yeah.
So the design, because I don't know why I was worried about this, and I don't have a bit of paper, but I thought like what I thought we'd have to do is draw the whole design out on construction paper for some weird reason, and then because I want the lines to be a continuous line going all the way straight across over like, so basically I want to do a 10-inch quilt block at least. She's thinking about buying a mid-arm. Yes, so I'm going to definitely do something on the mid-arm. Because you've got more space when it comes to doing like a king-size quilt. So I'm definitely going to do a video on that. So what I was concerned about is, do you know what? I'm just going to draw it out so when you rewatch this video back, you'll see what I mean. So if I did like a king size quilt, and I don't know, I'm just going to just do anything. I'm going to just do something with lines here. This is not the design. And then say these are like 10 inches across. So that there. So when you...
Send me a picture.
I know, you don't have a picture, so you're going to have to wait until you watch this back. So if you see the overall thing of the quilts here, so when you've got your lines and they're going across here and they're going across even more, but then I have to do a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance here. So I was wondering if it was going to interfere with these 2 lines going across here on the foundation paper piece. Like, I don't know. So Mum, you don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
I know, because I can't see it.
I guess I'm going to have to find out when I start doing the design work. Because I am terrible when it comes to like following other people's instructions. I have no idea why. I think I'm a very highly visual person. I've got to be able to see somebody doing something.
Yeah, I'm like that.
But whenever like when I look at like quilting books, when I look at magazines, when I do anything and try to read somebody else's instructions, I can't seem to do it. I'm better off just going rogue and just designing my own design. So he's thrown it down now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't have to water grass in your plants. I always think that it's amazing how you don't have to water your grass.
So Jill's asking me when I am going to start the quilt. So the next week's tutorial is the pillow, because that's all done and filmed. I'm going to start, well, I am going to start the quilt like this week, but you won't see a video on it until next week. So I basically want to start batch recording some of my videos so I can get them all going here. Because I think there might be a time when, I don't know, I could still do, I don't have to see how it goes. I'm hoping that I don't end up like not having a video to show people, basically, is what I'm thinking. Because I'm still stuck on a part that I've already filmed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could probably do something interesting. I'm surprised you can't hear that.
Hear what?
The rain. It's loud.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm going to show my mum that that's my business pencil. It's funny, I was in Michael's the other day as well, and they've got a headband with cat ears on it. I'm like, oh, it looks like my emoji. I was like, should I? And I was like, no, it looks childish. Stop it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to. So my thought process with this is, I was going to design so I've gone from this. So first of all, I was going to do a whole like construction paper of the king size quilt and do the squares from the construction paper that way. Then my friend said, that's so ridiculous, you don't have to do that because you just have to do like just one, 2 or 3 different versions of the block. So then I was like, okay then. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a 10-inch block and then I'm going to like see how that looks. And then I was like, well, no, I might as well do a 5-inch block and then like test that one out. And obviously I'm not going to do it on the fabrics. No, I'm not going to do it on the fabrics that I've actually bought. I'm going to do it on some like scrappy fabrics to see what it looks like. And then if the 5-inch block looks good, then I'm going to blow it up to a 10-inch block.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to design it on my computer because I don't have to physically, well, what I could do, saying that, No, because my printer, I can only go like 8. Oh, I might not even be able to do that. I can only print.
What on?
Yeah, I can only print 8.5. Like whatever the size that a piece of paper is, 8.5 by whatever. So I didn't want to physically like have to draw this pattern out all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that'd be a bit awful. I wouldn't have to draw it out all the time.
I know. And then it's like if I go like 8 inch by 8 inch, it's going to take even longer to quilt the thing now. It's going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that. 8 inch by 8 inch. And then the test block has to be a 4 inch block. I'll write that down.
No.
I just
You're
don't
talking
want...
it through. It's helping you a little bit as well, isn't it?
It is. I'm just talking it through on my own in my head. So the final block is going to be 8 inch by 8 inch. Okay. Well, I'm glad I thought about that before I actually did it, because I was going to go with a 5 inch by 5 inch block, but now I definitely just want to like, because I'm going to call it up in one of my computer programs, and then I'm going to just print it on a printer, and so it's literally going to be printed off on paper. I don't want to have to redraw that every single time.
Well, would you? You'd have to take a picture of it, wouldn't you? Or trace it out before you cut it all up.
No, you don't. Paper pieces where you do the block and it's on paper and you sew it on paper, remember? Do you remember that?
You know, the pieces.
What do you mean?
Like, do you not have to do the pattern on, you know, your paper? Then do you cut them out?
No. Foundation paper pieces where you do your pattern.
I don't know how do you do it then. I can't remember how you did it.
So you get your pattern and it's on a piece of paper, and you sew it on one side and you flip it out on the other side, so your actual pattern is built on the backhand side of the paper. Eventually your paper gets cut away, so the reason why people do foundation paper pieces is because you can get really perfect points, and you can't really get like, especially if you have a load of points all over the quilt, it's just an easier way to quilt points. And I just think geometric shapes look modern.
Right, okay.
So Roberta's saying do the 10 inch.
Yes, they do. I think they do. It's sort of like more like big in that, isn't it?
So Roberta's saying do the 10 inch, tape it together, or if you have an Office Depot or something like that, print it and have it blown up and print it larger. No, but I don't want to go and spend more money. I'm being frugal. But,
yeah.
And then I thought about the doing a 10 inch and taping it together, but then I was thinking the tape's going to get sewn in. And is it going to be easy to rip the tape off? I did think about taping them together.
Right.
Before I know it, this is going to turn...
Are you going to go bohemian?
Boho.
Boho.
No, it's romantic.
Right, well, what's romantic? I've forgotten.
What's romantic? I've forgotten. I'm just doing like pinks, taupes, blues.
Yeah, but I mean, are you going to go bohemian like in the pattern?
No, it's like a geometric pattern. It's like lines.
Right.
Oh, she's saying that it's easy to rip out and she's done it several times. So have you used magic tape then? Oh, I might be able to do the 10-inch after all. See, Roberta's helping me out.
Oh, good. That's good.
See, this is what I like about quilters. They always come up with... See, Roberta is like, I tell you, I'm coming to your house. She's saying, just regular cheap tape.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, well, why not? Why do you have to use anything?
Well,
It's
true.
really easy to bang all these stuff, these things. There was a lady that went, she was like, like all these little tweezers and little bits and bobs that you need when you're doing certain things, when you're sewing and stuff. And she got a load of like tools that represented like these things that you need to do sewing with. And she got them much cheaper.
Who was this?
There was a woman, I don't know, it was about a year or two ago. I was just watching one of these little things that pop up on the YouTube thing, and she just went out and bought like things like they were like tools, but they were like, it's like going to the dollar store kind of thing, and just buying them like a cheaper version of these things that you get. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would save such a load of money.
Well, one of the things that I like, because I wanted a magnetic pin holder, and I ended up buying it from a mechanic place. Like Neil was like shopping at a place called Princess Auto, I think it's called, and their magnetic dishes was something like it was just a silver stainless steel silver magnetic dish, and it was like, I want to say something like $6.99 or something like that. And at the quilting store, they were selling them for like almost 20 bucks, because they were like, I don't know, they were probably a bit more like pretty looking.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what this woman was doing. She did like a YouTube thing on it. Like these things that she wanted, for like a sewing room. She said, but I found them. It's like so expensive to just go to the, these fabric shops and, these places where you go for all this stuff for your fabric things and that.
What other things did she find?
I can't remember what it was. It was ages ago, that. I just thought it was a, really good, it was a good little YouTube thing, that.
I know I managed to get a really good deal on my cutting mat. I waited for Michael's to have a 55% coupon, and I managed to get a cutting mat from Michael's, and I was walking out the door with that thing. Like, I mean, it was one of the big ones. I think I'm going to say 36 inches by 36 inches. And I walked out the store with, it was like 28 bucks. I mean, and then things are like $80, $90 from like some fabric stores.
They're expensive.
And they're not so durable, because so what I did was I got Neil to build me, like, because we had this like middle room, and we were never using it, and it was becoming like the dumping ground for like everything. And in the end, when I set up my business, I decided that, I'm going to set this up as a sewing room. So then we pulled everything out, and Neil did all of my like my tables and everything in my room. And so before I got my YouTube channel, I think I probably set my room up different now, like when it comes to my YouTube channel, because I have that, my desks are all facing like the window and that, and I think I would somehow have my desk like coming away from the wall, so I'm Like every time he comes in my room, it makes me jump because I don't hear him come in because I'm facing away from the door, and it scares me every time. And anyway, the way squirrel again. So I basically got him to make me an actual cutting table. So the table is in line with, I think they tell you to keep it in line with your hips. So when you're cutting, you don't hurt your shoulders, you're not bending and stuff. So and he made this table, and then I got an IKEA drawers that went inside this like open space. And he also, I was into like crafting as well at the time, and I had a load of cardstock. So he made me all these individual slots for my cardstock. I said, I need to use that as cardstock. I need to get out and making cards or something. I need to use some of that paper up. And then on top of that is my cutting table. And I got 2 of them cutting mats, and we've stuck them on top with glue. And I've cut like the 2.5 measurement. Like I've gone right through it now.
Oh.
You can cut right through. They're not self-healing.
Oh. Is it over time that? Because I got one. I got a quite a cheapy cutting thing, and I was quite amazed by it. It didn't sort of like, I've not cut through it.
So anybody else, let me know in the comments down below if you managed to cut through your cutting mats just yet, because I don't actually think there's a lifetime on them. Like I don't know, maybe like 2.5 inches is my like most popular measurement or something. But I've cut through it, cut all the way through it. So I'm thinking that them things do need to be replaced. I'm hoping I can rip them off. I'm glad to like keep sticking one on top of the other, one on top of the other. Can you imagine, like over time they're just gonna like build up? And I accidentally, I think, tried to iron something, and I didn't have my ironing mat on underneath, and I like it's bowed a little bit as well because I did that. I don't know what possessed me to do that.
Oh God.
Like seriously. So you're making your sewing machine room? Why don't I say sewing machine room? Sewing room.
Who, me?
Yeah. I told you to change your living room because you never do anything in your living room. What's the point in having a living room if you never use it? Change it into a sewing room.
I know, I could do. I just need to get all this other stuff out of the way first. I'm going to have to empty the kitchen out. I'm going to have to put the fridge freezer in there.
What, in your living room?
Yeah, because the plasterer came today, and he was saying, can we move this out? So I can't do anything at the moment till this kitchen's sorted.
I think we're going to have to explain to people now what you're talking about. So my mum, were you in the house at the time? You were, weren't you? You woke up to it.
I was, yes, I was in bed.
I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny. Don't laugh at your mum.
It wasn't funny.
So basically, one of my mum's pipes burst in her bathroom.
It was a flexi pipe apparently, at the back of my sink.
It was a little bit too flexible.
Yeah.
And basically, she just had hot water spewing out of her bathroom, going all the way down on her landing, all the way down out of the. Was it out of the door? Was it spewing out of the front door?
It was, well, it didn't quite reach the front door, but it was in the kitchen. It did a lot of.
So basically,
it was all down.
So basically, she has a bathroom, like it's like a upstairs, downstairs. Like most of UK houses are like that, and so her bathroom is above her kitchen, and basically all the water spewed down into the kitchen and literally just like demolished it. Like, did the whole roof come down of your kitchen, Mum?
It didn't come down, but he had to take the kitchen ceiling down, yeah. So I've got no plaster, no ceiling in the kitchen since before Christmas when I came over to to you at Christmas. It really is.
And the reason
Not
why
this
it's
year.
been so long is because, like, so this happened just before my mum came over at Christmas, like, to Canada, because I live in Canada, my mum lives in the UK. And so she thought, like, oh, I'm not going to do anything until I go back over. And then when did the virus start? Was it March? No, it was earlier. Was it earlier than that?
March. Well, it had to dry out. I had to leave it to dry out, didn't I?
So basically, like, the insurance claim and everything went through, and then they had to dry out the plaster, and then because in the end they did lockdowns in the end, obviously, like, why am I even explaining? Everyone knows Cassie was lockdowns.
Oh God, no.
So basically, my mum has been without a kitchen because of the virus, and, like, nobody being able to, like, come and do any work. So
yeah.
her bathroom didn't like the kitchen.
Obviously.
Oh, so basically, my mum lives in squalor.
I'm sick of the dust. I'm cheesed off with the dust.
It's very rustic. It looks like a barn.
It does, yes. Yeah. Very rustic.
But the fun is that my mum can now pick out a whole new kitchen, and what so this is what my mum does. You think I'm a crazy woman. So my mum didn't like where her window was, and literally, like, I moved the window.
I did.
That's the kind of thing.
I thought while it's in the state it's in, I thought, right, do you know, like, when you live in a house, when you buy a house, you don't realise anything, do you? You know what I mean? You actually live in it. So it's like, I've been living in it, and it's like, I can see me next door. There's two reasons why I wanted to move the window. One is that when I'm looking outside, the next door neighbour's kitchen window is exactly opposite me. So that was one of the reasons. And the other reason was that I couldn't see out the back of my garden. It was just like I just didn't like the fact that I couldn't look out the back window. So that's those were the two reasons why I wanted to move the window. So that job's done, and I had to have the damp course put in, and it's just been a lot of money really as well.
We should change this podcast to the building podcast.
So I'm like redesigning my kitchen.
Sounds like fun. It'll be fun by the time you get it, like, all into place and you're having it. Because she got a kitchen that was, like, all red, didn't you? And it was kind of like, it ended up making the kitchen look dark in the end.
Yeah, it did. It did make it look dark. I don't know what possessed me to do that, this red kitchen. I just don't understand it.
I just think it was kind of in fashion at the time.
I don't know. It was a silly idea.
So anyway, the bathroom is okay. It's just the kitchen that's a little bit poorly and ill.
Yeah, I've done the bathroom myself. I decorated it myself.
See, you need to do some sewing.
I will do when I get around to it. When I can, I've got material. I've got a load of fabric now, and it's like it'd be nice to be able to do that. But I don't know. I've got to, when I'm focusing on something, I just need to focus on that one thing. I can't, it's just like I can't think about sewing at the moment because I want this out the way.
Plus, my mum lives on her own.
Is anybody else like that?
You're
I can't be the only person in the world like that.
Like, is there anybody else like that? You need to focus on the one thing. I don't know, because, like, most quilters like start projects and then start other projects and start other projects. So I don't think it's the right question.
Oh, right, yeah. So.
They like get bored of that project, so they start another one. Get bored of that one, start another one.
Right, yeah.
And it's funny because going back to the whole like, oh, if you're not using a living room, turn it into a sewing room. I've said that so many times to like women that have said, but Cassie, I don't have enough space for a long arm. But I like, just put it in your living room. You don't need that space, put it in your living room. I'd just put anything in my living. I'd do it if I got a long arm, like it's going like anywhere. No, I could put it in the basement.
My sewing machine's upstairs in the front bedroom actually, so I could do with like because I bought a little table, a dining room table.
Yeah.
And I put it upstairs. It's upstairs I had to take the legs off and unscrew all the legs and everything, and I took it upstairs so I could put my sewing machine on it, because the other room in here, the back room, it's too dark. Sewing, it's not very good, So I was thought, I'll go upstairs. I'll take this little table upstairs and put it in front of the window. So that's where I do my sewing.
Do you know, in the States, some people actually have like sewing sheds.
Yes, yeah. Little sheds, don't they? Little dens.
Well, the thing is, like, how, like, for insurance purposes and stuff like that, and like, would you not be like worried having like all this stuff just in your garden?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing as well, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know. It sounds like a really good idea having a she shed, though. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of people that do that, isn't there? There's quite a few people that do that.
No, I've never heard of it in England. I've only ever heard of it in the States, where they have these like sheds and they sew in a shed thing.
No, I've heard of them using sheds as well, for the massaging and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, they want to do their treatments, yeah.
Ah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is where I'm going with it, like this next week or the week after, I'm going to be doing this king size quilt. So I'm guessing I'll probably be able to do some lives on like what I'm going what I'm going through. Anyway, I think I'm all tucked up today. It's because I don't have anything to read. I got a bit bored of just sitting here and reading things, so I thought I'd change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I spoke about mountain men and making beaver gloves.
Oh yeah, is that your winter project?
Yes, that's my winter project. And I spoke about attaching beads onto quilts. Maybe that's something I could do. Quite sure what to do. And then, yeah, my next project is going to be this king size quilt, doing my own design and creating my own foundation paper piecing.
That'd be interesting. I'd like to see how you do that.
I think I'm going to be interested in how I do that. And then, yeah, I guess I should sign off and let these good people enjoy the day because they're sick of me waffling on. Okie dokie. Thank you for joining us again this fine Sunday, and have fun with whatever you're creating today. Say bye, Mum.
Oh, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
I thought you were going to go, bye, Mum.
Enjoy your sewing, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.